What's up guys, and welcome back to On The Brick, where today I have some custom brickheads to show off. These 100% genuine LEGO builds come from a relatively new store called Imperial Bricks. Even though they sell some other things, I'm primarily going to be looking at their brickheads as that's really all I've bought from them. And the two that I have are both Tarkin on the left and General Grievous on the right. Now, General Grievous was my first purchase from them because, quite honestly, he looks amazing. It comes with 109 pieces and sells for $34.99. Now, I know that sounds like a lot, and when it comes to a brickhead, it kind of is, but keep in mind that Imperial Bricks uses entirely new pieces, they pack your order by hand, and they have custom packaging for it as well. Also, the instructions are included with that price. And I can also tell you that they're not making a whole ton of money off of it anyway. When it comes to brickheads, I'm not really the biggest fan of them. I do have a few that I think were really nice, but it's not like I'm going to try and collect all of them or anything like that. But when I saw this General Grievous, it immediately stood out to me because this thing just looks awesome and is what brickheads should be, at least in my opinion. This thing is not built like a normal brickhead, it is actually built in an entirely different way, making sure to get all the weird angles and details out of the way. For instance, the feet are more like General Grievous's feet. There's like not really intestines, but you can tell that it's not just a brick body. And of course, the head looks like Grievous, including the ears and whatever. There's the dark red of his actual eyes underneath the pupils, and then of course like the black line going up from them as well, just like in the real character. And he does have 4 arms. Now they are not able to open or close, but they each do come with a lightsaber. And overall, I thought that this was a great custom build. But unfortunately, there was a very small issue with the actual purchase, in that it was missing 2 somewhat important pieces. Underneath the eyes, you can make out the slightest bit of a wedge plate. Now I can tell you that it looks very weird if that's not in there, but more importantly, it is actually pretty important for the structure of the head, and both of them were unfortunately not included in my purchase. Now I did reach out to Imperial Bricks, he responded almost immediately and sent the new ones completely free of charge, allowing me to complete the set, which honestly is a perfectly fine response. Mistakes happen, totally understand it. He also gave me a discount for a second purchase, which is where I went ahead and got Tarkin here. And this one is definitely a much more generic brickhead. It's still not built exactly like the ones that you might know and love, but it is much more along the lines of something that LEGO would make as opposed to the Grievous we just looked at. There are some unique techniques used here, at least I think, with like these grill tiles to get the rankings on there and the insignia. I think that's a really clever technique. And he also did a really good job of matching the hair to look exactly like Tarkin on both sides here. So even though overall this isn't as exciting to me as the Grievous, it's still a really nice build here. And if you have ever bought a brickhead, just in case you're wondering, yes, there are brains inside. But this order unfortunately also had issues, and this one a little more severe. The instructions were included via QR code, which didn't work. For the Grievous it did, but for this one, it just did not work. So I reached out to Imperial Bricks and didn't really get a response until the next day, where he sent me the incorrect instructions. So, I mean, on one hand, I have instructions for a different brickhead that I didn't order, which is kind of nice, but I also didn't get the instructions that I actually needed, which meant that I couldn't just build this thing. I also want to point out here, just in case he's watching this, the response that I got was a little on the unprofessional side. It wasn't rude or anything, don't get me wrong, but it was just the wrong instructions. Literally, that's it. No apology or anything like that. Just the wrong instructions. So of course I did reach out to him again, and unfortunately it took about 2 days for him to get back to me with the correct instructions. So I was finally able to build it. There was no discount or anything given in addition to that, which is totally fine, because at the end of the day I got what I purchased. Now, would I recommend these? Well, that's a little difficult. If you're a fan of brickheads, I think you'll find a lot that you like here. even for the price, which honestly is not that bad for most of them. If you don't like Brickheadz, I'm not really sure these are going to change your mind. Maybe something like the Grevious or the Padme Amidala might, but for the most part, this is pretty much what you'll get from LEGO too. Which is not a bad thing, but if you don't like Brickheadz, it's just not going to do much for you. No, the bigger problem actually comes in the store itself. Having made 2 purchases and having issues with both of them is really concerning. Now, both issues were resolved and I was able to build everything that I got just fine, which at the end of the day is what matters, but it also has put me off from buying a 3rd one because I really don't want to go 3 for 3 with issues. Now, that doesn't mean you will have issues, so if you are interested in these, there is a link down below, and yeah, I mean, you might as well try if you're interested. With that said, let me know what other mocks you would like me to show off, or maybe if there's any other Brickheadz from Imperial Bricks you would like me to build. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and consider checking me out on Instagram, Discord, and of course on Patreon, where you can join all of these wonderful people and get shoutouts like Jonathan. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.